Hi guys, good morning and welcome back to my videos. The last video what we heard was a quick rundown and introduction to the difference between the different Photoshop tools, or sorry, the different Adobe tools. So I bring you guys back to designing with Illustrator to understand the Illustrator environment and the tools. So this is where we stopped. We had our canvas, we had our artboard. We created our design and we have our artboard right here. So we are dealing with only one artboard. Normally in Photoshop you call this as canvas. Okay, so here we call it artboard. So you work with this artboard. So the tools that we have right on the left here are what I am going to explain to you guys, and to make sure that you guys understand all the tools. So first, before we go, we look at these tools right here. So any tool that you click, you have it up here. So this is the important part of it, is the fill color, the stroke color, the stroke size, and so on and so forth, opacity, and so on and so forth. Alright, so you can do your preference and document setup here, put your name, your everything that you want this document, like if anybody open this document can know that this document belongs to you, and so on and so forth. So right here we have the selection tool. This selection tool is that whenever we are working with any object or anything we want to deselect, we click here, so that we are not working with that object or that image or anything. So from there we just click here and make sure that you click for at least 2-3 seconds. You have to click here simultaneously, don't click and leave. So you have to click for a long time to see these things. So I have the direct selection tool, the group selection, and the lasso tool. What I will show you here is the direct selection tool. The group and the lasso tools, you know how to use the lasso with Photoshop. So the main thing here is this direct selection tool, but I want to illustrate this. I want to show you guys when do we use this direct selection tool. For example, we have what we call tools that are like shape tools, like rectangle, square, ellipse, polygon, star, and so on and so forth. So let's just take one rectangle and draw a rectangle, for instance, like this right there. So I have drawn a rectangle, but look at this rectangle that I have just drawn here. My stroke size is extra large. All this black stroke here, so let me just drop this in the selection. All this black spot you can see right here is the stroke. So I have to reduce this stroke by just reducing it from here. So you can see, the more I click here, the more my stroke goes down. So I have my stroke of 5. So if I don't want this stroke here, I don't want this background here, this border. If I don't want any border, what I do is just click on this and then I choose none here. So that border would disappear. But that will make sure, you have to make sure this is selected. You'll go to the stroke and then click this. So your stroke goes out. Now you are left with only the fill color. Okay guys, so if you don't also want any fill color, you just click here and then you disable the fill. But that will make sure, you have to make sure that this is selected, and then you click on the none, so the fill color is gone out. So let's just bring in our stroke color back. I just want a stroke, I don't need the fill color. Alright, so that's my stroke and I don't have any fill color. You can change this here also. Okay, you can change it here by switching right there. So you can switch anyhow that you want. Okay guys, so I can switch from here. Let me just make some adjustments on my alright, so that should be fine. So guys, you can switch from here. That is, if you want to switch the fill and the stroke, like if I click this, I have to make sure that this is selected first. So if I click here, the color that is here will now change. Okay, I have given it white color. So if I want this one, the black color, to come here and this one to come here, all I do is just to switch over. So when I switch over, the background change to black and the stroke change to white. And also if I return it back, I don't want this color here. Instead of clicking on the fill color to uncheck or to remove this fill, I can do it right here. I don't need to go, I just click here and my fill color is gone. Okay guys, so this is what I do. I'll have to show you guys how to use the direct selection tool. Now I want this part, okay, I want this portion of my image to come right in like this. Okay, I want to move this size I'll have to click on the direct selection tool. You click and stay for a long time, and then you just click that. So now if I click on this portion only, now what this does is it changed the ratio, it changed the form and the size or the nature of an object. Okay, so let's say I just want this side, so I click on this anchor point here. We call this as anchor point. So I can just click on this anchor point and then press you can see I press my arrow key to distort it, or I can just leave it at its original format like this, and I use my mouse to do something like this. So like for instance, I can do this, so you can see that I've changed the format, I've changed the size, I've changed everything. So if I want, I can reposition it. So if I want this to be round in shape, this is how I will do. I'll click here and then do something like this. So you can see that I've changed it. So this is basically what this direct selection tool can do. It can distort, like the transform that you have with Photoshop. So you can change this side, and if I want this one also to go a little bit this way or to make it like round in shape, all I do is just to select this side and then click on this. So you can see, and if I want this also, I'll click on this side and then click here, that anchor, that is the arc. So I can reduce the arc like this. So you can see I've just changed a rectangle to something funny like this. Okay, so you can do that using the direct selection tool. Next tool is the pen tool. That's the most important tool in Illustrator. That is to draw shapes that are not available right here. Let's say for instance I want to draw a shape like this. Okay guys, I want to draw a shape that will look like this. Okay, right. So basically this is the shape. Alright, so guys, that's it. Alright, so you click back here, make something like this. So you can see how I'm using the pen. So you just click and drag your hand. So you can see if I move my hand that side, it goes. So you have to make sure that you position your hand properly, and then you do something like this. Click back here if you don't want problems. You have to click back here, because if you continue, it will not give you the shape you want. So I'll click back here and then click right here. Give that shape here, perhaps this way. Click back here and then I click back here and then now make a choice, my choice. Okay guys, so maybe this is not going to be perfect. So something like this. I don't have a shape like this here amongst my shapes. There is no shape like that here, so I just create that shape. Okay, so now maybe this thing is not straight. You can see that it's not smooth. You can see that the line here, this side, they're not smooth. So the best thing I can do is to use this smooth tool to make sure that I make this. So you just click here for some time. You have the smooth tool. Make sure that the image is selected, or the shape is selected, and then you just drag over this anchor point to smoothen this object. So just click and drag and click and drag, click and drag, click and drag. All that you are doing right now is to make sure that you do not have those shapes like that. So even here, if you want it to be like that, you just want to smooth it. I'm turning it into a sort of an egg. I'm just changing it into the form of an egg. So you see that I was having some edges that were sharp. I just make them round by just smoothing it. So you can look at this smooth tool. It's a very, very good tool that will help you. If your lines are not the way you want, you can smooth the curves by using this smooth tool. That is what this smooth tool is. Okay, now guys, I also have to show you guys something here, that for instance I want to add another portion here. I want to distort here. Okay, that image, I want to add another point, so I can just drag it. So all I do is to add an anchor point. So if I add here, I click that, add an anchor point, I click here, I've added an anchor point right here. Let me see if that happens. Well, it's like I am unable to add an anchor point. So let me see. Well, an anchor point is added right here and here. So I have two anchor points that I have created. So I'll just click out of it and then drag over it. I have an anchor point. Now if I click on this direct selection tool, Where's my anchor point? It's gone. Well, if it is there, if my anchor point is there, I was supposed to have something like that, so that I can be able to add it. But it's like my anchor point is not right there. So this is what I will do. I will show you guys again how to do something like that. So let's just look at this. Let me draw a rectangle just right now, and then make sure that I have a fill for it. Just want to show you guys what this anchor point is. How do you add an anchor point? So I'll just come here and add an anchor point. I think if I click here, I should be able to add an anchor point right there. Alright guys, so those anchor points are really very important, because what they do for you is that, what they do for you is they allow you to add something or even minus. So if the add anchor point gives you problem, you can minus anchor point. Just click up, right? That's save. Use the delete anchor point on tools or anchor point of a path. So it means that I do not have an anchor point already. So for instance, right here, it is possible because I have an anchor point. If I don't want this side, I will just click here, the anchor point is out. Click here, it's out, and click here. So I can remove everything using the minus anchor point. So wherever I have an anchor point, I just use that delete anchor point, it will be going out. Guys, so that tool is not what we saw, is the cover tool. You don't use it, in this video. So what you will do, we have tools here. We have the ellipse tool to draw ellipse. You have the ellipse tool, rectangle, you can draw an ellipse. Now if you want to draw an ellipse of the same size, the rectangle of the same size, all you do is press the Alt key and the Shift key so that you can have the same size. The Alt and the Shift key would give you equal size, equal ratio. But if you're using Apple or MacBook, what you do is you press the Shift, that is the Option key, plus the Alt key. Okay, so you have the Option key and the Alt key, and then you click and drag, you have the same size. If it is a rectangle, you can do the same thing, draw a rectangle of the same size, width and height. Just press Alt and Shift, and then you have document of equal size. So that will give you a document of equal size. And also there are other tools like the polygon tool. Now you can do this polygon tool. If you choose it, you can just click and then set how many size of the polygon you want. If you want to make it 11, you can set it here, 11 size. So you can see your polygon is 11. If you just want to draw a polygon of any size, you can just click and drag by just using that same thing. But if it is at its default, it is okay. We also have a star. You can just click and set the size of the star. For instance, I just want a triangle. I'll just reduce this to 3. I'll have 3 corners. You can see that. So that's my triangle. So if I want, I can bring this triangle, just drag it over, move it up. So I just change. I can rotate it like this, just move over the edge. So if your rotation changes like this, if it changes, you can see my mouse pointer. If it changes this way, it means I can rotate it. I can rotate it any type or any size. That is transform. You can also do this anyhow of your choice, no problems. Alright, so do you have another tool there? I think, yeah, the line tool. It's important that you can draw lines. Now if you want to draw a line that is straight, right, for instance this, I may not get it accurate, so I just press the Shift key. When I press the Shift key, I drag my line. It will give me a straight line. If I want it vertically, I just click and drag down. I'll press the Shift key. I'll have a straight line. If I don't press the Shift key, I may not get it straight. I may not get my line accurate. So in order for me to get my line accurate, I press the Shift key or the Option key if you're using MacBook. Okay guys, the other tool here is the pencil tool. Okay, the pencil tool is a very good tool that will allow you to draw shapes of your choice. You can draw with the pencil. Like for instance, I want to draw a sort of a circle. That's my pencil tool. So the pencil tool allows me to draw things of my choice. I can do something like that, guys. So I can do sort of a tree, Alright, that's just a tree. It's sort of a funny tree that I can just build. Okay guys, so I have that tool right here. So that is the pencil tool, and that is what the pencil tool can do for you. So it allows you to do some selections. Alright guys, so I will leave that tree out there because I am going to do something with it. to show you guys something. So I'll just bring that 3 sort of like here. I just leave it like that. So next is the type tool. Okay, let me just put that 3 right at the right corner here. Now the type tool is very good tool. What you do with the type tool is that you just click on your artboard and then you type anything of your choice. Let's say for instance I want to type Aliou Touré, so I can type that Aliou Touré. And also for instance I want my text to be this way, horizontally fine. If I want it vertically, I just have to click here for some seconds and then I see those options. I just choose vertical, I click and then I can type Aliou Touré and it will come vertically. Alright guys, so sorry about that. So that's it. I can type vertically or I can type horizontally by just choosing the option right there. There is one you would see here, that is type on path. Type on a path is a very good tool because you can type on a specific path and then you would use it later on. So what you would do is, for instance, you have a rectangle or a square. Let's say I have an ellipse tool, that's a circle like that. So what I can do with this circle is I will remove the, let me just switch this, okay, let me just switch from here so that I have a stroke and no fill. Okay, my stroke is on, my fill is gone, because when I do this my stroke was not having anything, so I just switch it and that means it will take my fill out and give me only stroke. So what I want right now is I want this circle in 2 formats. I just want to change the circle into 2. So this is what I can do by just going right for where is my scissor tool. I just want to show you guys one tool, that is the scissor tool. It is a very good tool. That's my scissor tool. I'll just click on this scissor and then click right here, that anchor point, and click on this anchor point. Now in this case I've put my circle into 2 halves. Okay, you can see that I use this scissor tool to cut my circle into 2 halves. That's my scissor tool. I'll get to it later because I want to show you guys something here. So now if I want my type to take the shape of this, I want my type to take this shape, that shape only. I want whatever I type give me this shape. I'll select this and then go to my type on the path or type on path. When I click here, right guys, whatever I type will take that. So if I, for instance, Touré graphics design. Alright, so you can see what I am typing right now, it's taking the shape of this object. So as soon as I just type, it goes out. So for instance, also I want that, I want to type another thing here, I can just type it using the type on the path. Just click here and then start typing best of luck, for instance, to you guys. So yeah, so now I've typed that, but you will not see it. So what I do, I just go to the selection tool. All that I have right now is right here. So what I will do is I will just click here and then you can see that small line. Okay, that small line, I just click and drag my text right here because all the text will go one side, so I have to use those lines. So you can see that my text is down here. Okay guys, I don't want that, so I'll just click here and flip. See that? Right, my text is flipped. Okay guys, so you just do that. You can flip your text around, you can drag it, you can move it anyhow, you know guys. So it is a very important thing that you can do to move these things. So that's it guys. So this is an important thing. If you want, you can just now bring that here right underneath here. Right, so you can see that I've created a document like that with curves and with everything. So if I want this thing to go back, all I do is move on top of this one and drag it down. So you see that? Drag it this way or drag it up. So up and down would move. So those 3 lines are what help you to do this, to move the text anyhow. Guys, so next one is the rotate tool. We have rotate, scale, reflect, and shear tool. So but we'll be using the rotate and the reflect tool. Now let's say for instance I've drawn an object like this. I've drawn a rectangle like that. So I want 2 of that. I want a copy of that. I want to flip it around. I want to flip it around to have a copy of it. or I want it anyhow, I can do it, no problem. So that is, so I can rotate it using the rotate tool. Alright, so when I click here, I just click on it, it will give me how I want it to rotate, so I can just rotate it anyhow. So you can see that I can rotate it to any size or anyhow. That is the rotate tool. Now if I don't want to rotate it, I just want it to be somehow same copy. Let's say for instance I want it to flip and have a copy. I'll just click on the reflect and then make sure that I press the Alt key and then click right here. So when I press the Alt key and click right there, I'll just do preview. Select that preview and look at it. It flipped from that area where I want it to be. So it flipped right here. If I want it to be horizontal, I do like that, it goes horizontally, or if I want it that way, it goes. The angle is 90 degrees, that is fine. So if I want two of it, I'll just click on copy. So you can see I have two of that. See, I have two of that using the reflect tool. Okay, so the scissor tool, if I want to cut this into two, I'll just use the scissor tool and then click on this scissor, click right here and then click here on the same line up. So I cut this into two halves. See guys, I've just cut this into two halves using my scissor tool. So I can just put it into two halves, no problem. The scissor tool help you to do that. And also there is an erase tool, that is if you have this object selected, you want to erase it, you can just go back to the scissor where it is, you choose erase. Now you can just erase that. You can see that you can just erase that and then you have it erased. You can erase everything if you want. So guys, that is what the erase tool does. And the next thing is the shape builder tool, guys. That is a very good tool. This tool, that is the shape builder tool. That tool is magnificent. That tool is just so good. So you use the shape builder tool to change or add things into objects. Let's say for instance I put this object into this one. Okay guys, and let me say I change this color, the color of the object on top. So like I have these two. Okay, so this shape builder tool, this is what it can do for me. I highlight the two. If I take the shape builder tool, it allows me to do this. Guys, look at that. It all goes out. Now I don't want that. I want just this portion. Okay, like that. Okay, sorry guys. I want that portion to be out, and I want that. Now I have three portions. I can give each of these portions a color. Now if it is highlighted like this, I go to my swatch here, choose a color, take my shape builder tool, I can give a color here, take my shape builder tool, take a color and then put that here, take my shape builder tool, take this color and put it here. So I can have different colors. My shape builder tool would help me do that. So guys, this shape builder tool would help you to make changes in the color of whatever thing that you are doing. So you can see that shape builder tool helped me do that. Okay, so you can highlight this also and give it a shape. For instance, if you want, just highlight it, take the shape builder tool, take any shape or any color here, then you have a color for it. If I want a color here, a different color, I can take this and then add that here. So guys, that is what this shape builder tool can do. All it can do for you is to make sure that you are able to add colors or divide objects into two if you want the shape builder. So you can see that this one and this one we are the same, but now it is not. This one is alone, so I cut it into two halves. This one also, you can carry this out, carry this one out, and carry that one out. So you have just displayed something. You've just changed something right here. So you've changed the format of something right here. So you can even select this and then use the shape builder tool to delete this portion. Okay guys, so it's impossible, or it's impossible. So what happened is that I will have to check this out and remove it. Okay guys, so the next tool that I have right here is the gradient tool. Like for instance, I have added a gradient, and let's say for instance I am going to add, this is where the gradient is. Okay, I can add a gradient right here to this one. So I've added a gradient, but I don't want this gradient to look like this. Gradient is multiple colors. You can choose multiple colors and then you can set it out. So right now maybe I don't want this stroke. Okay, let me just remove this stroke, guys. Let me just have the object like that. That is my image. So right now, if I want this black portion to come down so that this hash portion to go up, I'll just choose that. That is my gradient tool, and then I can just be doing like this. See, guys? I can see. You can see. Alright, make it everything black like that. So I can also do it like this. Okay, like that. Anyhow of your choice would work, guys. Right? You can do that. You can do that. Make it two halves, no problems. So that is what this this gradient tool will do for you. The next tool is the perspective tool. I'll use this in my next video because it is a lengthy one. And the next one that I want to show you guys here is the eyedropper tool. It replicates colors. Let's say, for instance, I want this object here to have red. I don't want to go here and then start choosing red. Maybe I will not get the exact red that is here. So what I can do is I'll just select here and go for the eyedropper tool and click on this. So it will give me the same color for the object that is selected. Let's say, for instance, here I have this one and I want to give it this green color. What I can do is go to this eyedropper tool and click on that color. Okay, guys? So when I click on that color, it gives me that color. So I don't need to go through colors. That's why in my previous, in my subsequent videos, you'll be seeing that I'll be drawing, creating colors here myself, so I can just be using the eyedropper tool to drop those colors right there. The next tool is not useful. With tool, we're not using it. The next tool right here is the blend tool. It's a very good tool. Let's say, for instance, you have different object that you want to bring together. So you can use this blend tool. Let's say, for instance, I have different circles. Right. So I have a circle here. Shift Alt, the same size. Now I want to make a copy of this circle. What I will do is I will just press the Alt key right here. If I press the Alt key, I click and drag, I have the same copy. So as you're dragging it, you will see a line indicating that this is in straight line. That's it. So now if I highlight these two together, I can now blend them. Okay? Right, that is it. Click here and click here. So when I click on this point and that point, I have blend these two, have multiple of it. So guys, you can do that blend tool. I will use this blend tool in many cases here. So I have many of it. So I blend that object and that other object to have multiple of it in between that side. Okay guys, so those tools, I want you guys to understand them, and in my next video I would show you guys how to use this other one and these others, and also on top here those tools on top. So guys, I'll see you in my next video, and that might be tomorrow, inshallah. Thank you guys. I hope to see you next tomorrow.